Hey guys, Wolf Prophet here, just doing a tier list for set 19. I wanted to apologize that it took so long for me to be able to do, but with the new currency program they have with the clan events, it took me a while to be able to free to play, get all the Musketeer cards and play through them, so I can be able to rank each card the best, so I can have the best opinion on each cards on every set, on every deck basically. So every deck on here I've played besides the witches, obviously that's why it's so dark, because I don't have any witches cards. So I'm just playing off memory of how many witches decks I played against, and how effective they were and stuff like that, and the capabilities that they do have in the deck. The rest of these decks I have played and being able to test them out and see how far they get in the meta at this point. So just keep in mind, this is my opinion. And if you have a different opinion, just put in the comments below. Everyone bringing their own opinions together and sharing them and being able to, respect everyone's opinions is definitely good. My ideas and my opinions aren't aren't set in stone. It's not how things are and should be. Like I said, it's just my opinion. Like, comment, and subscribe so I can help my channel grow, so I can keep pumping out these videos for you guys. I already have good deck profile videos out there, good free-to-play videos out there, so check them out. Check me out on Twitch also, and I'll let you know my schedule at the end of the video. So let's get started with Azeroth. So Azeroth is a pretty good deck. It's not the second Covenant Ragey, but it's really good crit management. Getting 20 soul isn't too hard, but decking out is. You definitely, if having a 40 card deck compared to 50 in IRL is definitely a tough situation. But being able to have like your chariots to put cards back and fill up your deck with heal triggers to be able to check those are a double-edged sword. Not only are you checking triggers and healing yourself, you're also depleting your deck and giving your opponent chances to damage you and even deplete your deck even more. So it's definitely tough. You so charge a lot of key pieces like more legions, more your PGs, intercepts, stuff like that to be able to protect yourself while you swing with crit most of the time. Some of the decks these days can definitely power through their deck and be able to get to their PGs as fast as possible. So that's where this deck has trouble. It really doesn't have a backup ride. If you don't ride Azeroth, you're definitely struggling throughout the whole game. So, it has a good, crit management action going on there. You can also have Chariot swing with a crit because you're soul charging so much. It's really good at soul charge. That's the one thing it's definitely good at. It also has the retire, just as Amon Reverse had, but a little bit different, less cost, a little bit non-guaranteed to take out intercepts, so it's definitely tough. Playing against Shadows, it can definitely take a game pretty good, because Shadows retire their whole back row. And if you can survive a Shadows break ride and they take out their back row, so you can use 2 Counterblast 2 to take out the intercepts, swing at face, swing with both your rear guards, then swing with the crits, and definitely can win you a good game. But definitely tier 3, it definitely does okay compared to all the other decks that came out this set. It's definitely probably the 4th best deck in this set, in set 19. Brawlers is definitely a good tier 2 deck. It definitely combats. It's a hard counter to all of the decks in tier 1, being able to basically retire their intercepts, retire their board, swing past them, get past those things. Most of the time when it comes to the Paladin decks and all the top tier 1 decks, their biggest defense is their intercepts, and Big Bang Knuckle just swings past those, creates big huge columns on the right and left side, and swing at your opponent multiple times. It's definitely tough for them to compete against this deck, and it definitely has no problem. But the only problem that it does have is basically it doesn't play a long game very well. It doesn't really draw cards, doesn't really plus too much. You might have your Phoenixes giving you an extra draw while soul blasting cards at your drop zone, but if you don't really hit triggers consistently, you can definitely run out of steam very quickly. So you want to end the game fast, and cards like Garmor and continuously putting up intercepts make it really hard for you to get there. Jelly, Battle Assisted Jelly. A good Oracle Think Tank deck is definitely tough when it comes to all the other decks. Is you know what I mean, it makes it's extremely difficult. You could play your 9 stand and still have a tough time pushing damage. You know what I mean, Tom is nice to be able to seal out games, but you know what I mean, everything else is just so much more aggressive. It definitely just you know what I mean falters with that lack of aggression to be able to get there. It definitely allows you to. It definitely plays the long game very well with pushing your opponent very slowly and easily. Drawing multiple cards continuously, all the grade threes draw cards very without with grades of ease. But and then you can seal the game with Tom. But you know what I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can take a game pretty well with this deck. I've definitely ranked up pretty well with this deck and have really good time. But compared to the other decks, it falls short in the aggression part. CBD is definitely a pretty good tier 2 deck compared to the Legion decks. It definitely still is able to take games as long as you know what I mean, align and perfectly, not perfectly, but as long as you precisely put your locks in the right spots and at the right times, you're able to definitely take games with no problem. Some of the new players that are coming into Zero definitely don't know how to play around Link Joker, so you can definitely take games from new players and stuff like that. So you know what I mean. And with the buff coming after set 21, it definitely makes him even more better. Basically, makes him as good as his IRL. But you know, this is Zero, and by the time it gets this buff, we're going into G. So it's definitely gonna be tough. Which it will be good in G, definitely, because it gets a stride, it gets better cards, it gets counter charge, stuff like that. So you know, what I mean, definitely a good tier 2 deck. All right, Celestials, Angels, definitely a good tier 4 deck. It has a tough time playing against most of these decks at the top spots. It's aggressive but not aggressive enough. It doesn't really have much defense. You run out of cards pretty fast. You know, I mean, you can tuner out your PGs out of your deck, but it just doesn't help. What it does good is being able to, you know, I mean, get the cards the way you want to with Samuel and being able to be aggressive with your double rare Legion, but it's just not enough. It falls short it falls very short. Kraken Beast Tamer, I definitely want to say is definitely tier 4 also. It's just tough to deal with. It doesn't really hit good numbers. Your boosters are 6Ks and only 7K that you do play. You put it behind Vanguard so you can get more multi attacks in. The break rod doesn't really help the deck, and you know what I mean, a lot of decks know how to play around the fortress combos where you have you know your 4 fortresses, your 3 fortresses in your soul, and you know what I mean, they just retire, swing. They might not give you damage that turn, but next turn they'll finish you off, and you're not able to basically redo that again unless you have your Legion. So definitely tough. It doesn't really plus as much as Lukia does. Because Lukia has Marichka and Zelmas and Annas and stuff like that, even with the nerfs. It definitely it's just a better player moon deck is Lugia. Kaitis Reverse just not good at all. Not good compared to this meta. It was okay when it first came out, but now that we're in like the second set of Legion, it just doesn't do enough. Not very popular. You don't really see it on rank too much. If you do see it, it's a VP farmer deck, so definitely tough to compete. Duo's a good tier 3 deck. It's strong, you know what I mean? You're able to search your PGs. It gets better next set to basically bump it up a rank with no problem. I'll just put it right here just to be putting it here. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a different conversation next set by the end of the week where duos are going to be. They definitely get a lot better with the new Legion cards. So definitely a tier 2 deck. It has its multi attack. It has its crit. It has its searching PGs, but you know, rest of these it's just not as popular. I really don't see it on rank that much, so it's hard for me to basically give it a accurate ranking on where it's at when compared to the meta. So I'm gonna put it at tier 3. Tsukiyomi is definitely a good tier 3 deck also. You could definitely take wins in terms with no problem, but when it comes to rank, it's definitely tough to compete. A lot of decks are super aggressive. You have good as these. Piece reliant. If you don't have your pieces, you definitely lose. Definitely could put it here maybe, and put this here. Thing Saver, Seekers. You know what I mean? Tier 1, obviously. It's not going to leave tier 1 until, what, set 21 or whatever. This is definitely the Paladin format. These definitely switch around every now and then on which one's better. This has Garmor. This just has, you know what I mean, 8 blasters to be able to retire your opponent's rear guards, counter charge with both of them. The one thing that Revengers have is the Legion mate that retires counter blast one to retire a booster, and you're mostly just retiring your opponent's counter charges. So these can definitely be here every now and then taking over, but Revengers just feels so much better, so much more aggressive than the other Paladin decks, so it definitely holds that spot very well. And Revengers will be good all the way through G, even to like almost to set 2, and then set 2 it'll take a break and then come back when however they do the Legion, the trial deck, because the trial deck definitely makes a very good impact on Revengers. Like I said, Revengers is going to be a good deck all the way till Luart comes out, so you know what I mean, it's a good investment. Seekers actually die out a little bit. They die out. They're not as good as the G Royal Paladin deck, so you know what I mean, Legions where it falters after set 1 Legion, I mean G, you know, that's when it falters. That's when Altmog gets better cards. Garmor, you know what I mean, this is the after this is as far as Libres go. They stay at tier 1 for right now, but when everything else comes out better, like set 20 and set 21 cards, it definitely falls to the bottom and doesn't get back up, because G just comes out with a better, different mechanic for Gold Paladin. Yttriel, doing Yttriel things. Like I said, people don't respect the glorious fact skill, so tough. Everything has its falters, but these decks just capitalize and just do better things. Like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. This is my opinion on the tier list. If you have your opinion, just put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear other people's interests and ideas. If I missed anything, let me know also in the comics. And like I said, subscribe so I can better my channel, grow my channel, and you know, I mean, keep pumping out these videos for you guys. I also stream on Twitch Tuesdays and Thursdays, from 10 o'clock to whenever I get tired, when people stop showing up. So come check me out. Wolves Profit. And yeah, peace. I'm out. I hope you enjoyed.